Hello everyone, welcome to darkfaetarot. You are joining me on another wintry evening in Brussels. Welcome to new subscribers, welcome back to those who already know me. So yes, as we head towards midwinter, I'm already doing my first review of 2024. Wow. So I think this year is going to fly by. So yeah, we had last week already about a foot of snow dumped on Brussels within like a 9-hour period. It was quite crazy, but it's all clearing up now, and I am happy to say that it's really good to see sunny, brighter days. That's all I want to say, brighter days. But without further ado, let me go into today's review, which is Tarot of the Enchanted Garden. And yes, this is my first review of 2024. This is a deck by the artist is Rosanna Palla, and another person has done the guidebook. We're going to get to that in a moment. This is a loscarabeo deck. It is mass market, of course, available for about somewhere between the 20 and the 30 euro mark, depending on where you live. I bought it last year for my birthday haul, and then after the birthday haul, I never got round to actually doing much with it. So I decided to use it for the beginning of this year. So yes, it was lovely to start off the year with a Fae deck. Very happy with that. So let's get into it. So this is a deck, again, by loscarabeo. The guidebook is, let me just get this out, and these are the backs, as you can already guess. And the guidebook is by, let me get this right, Diane Lang. That's the name. So Diana Lang, sorry. So that's the person who's done the guidebook. Let me put that there for a second. And these are the cards. These are matte. These are standard loscarabeo size. So you're looking at a standard tarot card. And and these are a matte finish, which is different from loscarabeo. They don't stick at all, just to be very clear. It's that satiny matte cardstock. For me, it's a bit too, I don't know how to put it, cardboardy. That's my honest opinion, but I'm okay with it. Like, it is good quality. So I just want to say that. And as you can see, these are the gorgeous back, which of course look like the chakras and a kundalini or a caracas going up, and just absolutely beautiful. You can already see that this is very much a grayscale deck, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But the art in this deck is just absolutely exquisite. So as I mentioned, I picked this up for my birthday, and one of the big reasons I picked it up was because around my birthday, I buy lots of decks, of course, leading up to my birthday. But one of the things I love is just making sure I get myself a nice Fae deck. That's really nice for me, important for me. So this was the one that I picked up, and I was quite intrigued by it. I hadn't seen many people work with it already, so I picked it up as it was just released, actually. And as I mentioned before, you can see straight away this is very much a grayscale deck. So you are looking at a deck where you have these very kind of like, how can I put it? What was the word I was going to use? Now it's gone from my mind. I keep saying grayscale, but there was another word that was going from my mind. But yeah, you've got these kind of like muted tones of purples and blues. It just is a deck that really sings to kind of like the Fae in me. It's very whimsical. It's got these creatures or characters, I don't know how to put it, these Fae beings. And I just love how they look, because it's kind of like this energy where we kind of like are linking the Fae that we would think of within a forest or a woodland or even in the oceans. And we're linking that now to like a cosmic realm, which I just really like. It's like another world that we've stepped into. It's very, very enchanting in that sense. And because of the colors, it really puts me in a wintry space, which I really like. It's very delicate, the drawings, and yeah, I just really, really like the fact that they've used this kind of like muted coloring. When I started to work with it, it really reminded me of Tarot Nuages, which I did a review of last year. I worked with that in January. So it's almost like, in the January period, this time of year, I kind of like light colors that have this kind of like muted tones to them. It is the Fae in its creative form. The expressions on the faces have really grabbed me. At first, I couldn't really, I remember seeing it at first thinking, am I going to be able to work with this deck? Because they're so busy, there's so much going on. But then the more I worked with it, the more I could see the images coming through, the facial expressions, the symbols that were used. This artist has really gone out of her way to make sure that she uses all the various symbols from the RWS. It is based on the RWS. And they've really worked hard to make sure that they've incorporated all the key elements. So we still get the city in the background, you can, or the tents in the background. I always think of this as a circus that this person is creeping away from. Here you can see the lion's mane, but in this fae form, which I think is just absolutely stunning and beautiful. All the colors are there, but again, in this muted palette. It's just, I was really drawn to the artwork in this form. I'm not sure if it's ink art. I think, I'm not really, again, an expert. I'm thinking this is ink art, but it's very distinct and unique. Here, the flowers, these roses, they really stand out in a different way. And I really think that there's a blurriness and then a sharpness to it. And it's interesting how the artist plays with those kind of tones in here. I also think it lends itself a little bit to the Marseille, because when you start to lay out the cards in their formats, when a reader does that, you'll start to see that there is some directionality in the cards. And that was really intriguing for me. So it's great if you're doing actually a spread and large spread. This deck would work so well with it because, again, of directionality that you get from it. And I also had noticed when I was working with this that, again, going back to the symbols, so this is the Hierophant. But if we go to the symbols on the courts, let me find a court if I can. So here's our 10 of Swords. Here's the 10 of Pentacles. Look how beautifully that's been done, this Ancestry card. Let me see if I can find a court to show you. Look at the Fool. This is the Fool here. Here's our Death. So 9 of Wands. Okay, so this is a court. So here we have a Knight, and I just want to make sure I get this right. This is the Knight of Wands from what I'm seeing. When we look at it, the artist really worked hard to make sure that they incorporated. Now we don't see it so much in this one, but there was a few others. Let me find one that I can show you where I really noticed it. Predominantly, you can just see how beautiful the artwork is in this. So there's a lot of swirls, a lot of different hues. Is there another knight? Yeah, this is a pentacle. We don't see it again so much on the knights and the pages. They're less so. This is, of course, a page of swords with the clouds. But we see it more, of course, with the kings and queens in the traditional court cards. Here's our fish. From the Page of Cups. Okay, so here we have one, right? Here we have the Queen of Pentacles. And you'll see here that they've incorporated the astrological elements. So we've got here the bull, we've got the grapes again. This artist works very hard in making sure that they incorporate the key elements, which I was really grateful for. It was lovely to see. Here we have the kids for the 10 of Cup here in the corner. So really, this is a deck that you can take one card and really absorb yourself into it. If you've already learned the RWS system but want to start again branching out, working with decks that are a little bit different, this is a good kind of like next step to take it to. You can work with this deck and start to understand. So here we have this Queen of Swords, and you can see she's kind of like not holding so much, but yeah, the energy is holding the butterfly or presenting the butterfly, which I think is absolutely, again, just so well done. And I fell in love with the deck because of the details in each of the cards. Here we have the King of Swords, and you can see again the butterflies here on either side of the throne. I love the swords because of the butterflies. The butterfly is like my main symbol for this year, the butterfly and the moth. And it's just such a key part of it. Here we have the wands, and we have here the lion. So yeah, the lion for the King of Wands, but also the salamander. And you might be thinking, how can I distinguish between the kings and the queens? And you'll see here, here you'll see that the colors denote the actual, so the oranges for the wands, and here we have the blue for the swords. But here you can distinguish again how you can distinguish between a king and a queen. So here's the king, and this is how this icon looks. And here's the queen, and this is how her key looks at the bottom. So yeah, if anybody's using this deck thinking it might be a bit confused, I figured it out with these two, basically how to distinguish them. Here's the Tower card, and I remember looking at this and looking at the facial expressions. So again, this Tower card is just, it's such a great play on the Fae world. I just want to say that. So if you're a Fae bunny, I think you're going to really enjoy this deck. You know, I've worked with so many Fae decks now, like Tower of the Hidden Realm, or I've worked with the Foraxa, the Paulinas, you know, I tend to work with Fae decks in a very, for me, it's very important to work with intention. They're not just another tarot deck for me. They're very close to my heart because it's an energy I really associate with. And here we have the Empress, just beautifully done, just so ornate, all the details. So again, if this is ink art, let me know, because I'd be intrigued to know if that's what it's classified as. I love the color, the color palette, and yeah, I just think it's just a great deck to work with if you're beyond the RWS and you're thinking, I need something that's like more interesting, but you know, you're not still so keen to go very, very far from that system, then this deck is kind of like a great in-between place, past the beginner stage. So here I've done a little bit of showing you the cards. I thought now it'd be good to have a look at the guidebook. We're going to look at the guidebook and then we're going to do some pairings as usual. So let's look at the guidebook and what it gives us. So we have here the Ace of Wands. We have either the Four of Pentacles. You can see here there's a slight green hue to the four. That's what indicates the Pentacles. And we have here the Hierophant. So we've got a good set of cards that we can try one of these. So let's look at first the Hierophant and see what you get if you had picked up this card in your draw for the day, or if in a reading you had the Hierophant card. Okay, so this is a little guidebook. It comes in like 4 languages, very typical loscarabeo style. But I've heard this quite a few times, people saying that they are not so much impressed with the loscarabeo. I think that loscarabeo has stepped up its guidebook game. I just want to say that. I think one of the things that they have done is, I looked 59 pages per language. Well, for the English language, it's 59 pages. That's not bad. That really is not bad. I think I've actually had decks which have come with full guidebooks, and honestly, they've got less content. So not bad at all. First thing I want to show is that it has a wonderful spread right at the beginning called, and it's called A Walk Through the Enchanted Garden. I thought that was beautiful. So I really loved having that as an introduction to the deck. And then we go into the associations. Now, let's look at the Hierophant and what it says so that you get an idea. And they're about the same for every card, so they don't skimp on the minors or anything. So for the Hierophant, it says, the Hierophant speaks with the voice of religious authority. He is the keeper of dogma, tradition, and the laws of morality. His vessel of knowledge sits beneath 3 crosses representing body, mind, and spirit, for all combine to make the human experience. The 2 monks that kneel before him bend their heads in obedience to the Hierophant. Though his teachings can be stern, the Hierophant blesses as well, and supplicants can find comfort through confession and absolution. The spirit may find formal religion too confining when it commands rather than persuades. A gifted spiritual teacher can help you define your faith. Only your trust to those who are worthy of that great responsibility. Only give your trust to those who are worthy of that great responsibility. Remember that authentic sacred service is always humble, and the authentic teachers always welcome questioning. I really found that interesting because it started off very, very traditional, and I thought, oh, this is a bit stern. And then it goes towards kind of like actually to take care who we give that trust to, who we give that position of Hierophant to. And then it gives key ideas, religious tradition, authentic spiritual teachings, comforting guidance, dogmatic control. So it gives the darker side as well a little bit here. What I also really liked was it says welcoming questions. And my personal journey in spirituality, which has been well over 15 years now, has been that questioning and discussing and allowing that space is key to growth. If I don't do that, I can't grow. So yeah, I found this so helpful and important to read just now. Actually, it was like, whoa. So that was for a major arcana, and perhaps you'd like to see one for the minor. So here's a 4 of wands, and we'll just see quickly one more. So you get an idea that for even for the minors, you're going to get about the same amount, because that's what I found. So here's a 4 of wands. So beautiful, the detail. If you just have a look a moment there at that card, the couple, but you know, they're under the 4. Here you can see the bunting of the 4 of the 4 of wands, the traditional bunting. So all the symbology is there, but just done so differently. I love her wreath at on the head. Okay, so 4 of wands, what does it say? It says, the scene depicts a wedding, but it represents any festival that marks a time of great joy. Such celebrations are vital to the human spirit, for they affirm that life is more than just day-to-day routine. Humans have a need to create rituals that honor significant events and set traditions to accompany them. When a rite of passage is reached, an achievement has been accomplished, or peace and harmony return after a time of trouble, we pause to celebrate and commemorate. Something or someone is worthy of such a celebration now. And then it gives key ideas: the blessing of peace, celebration, remembrance through ritual, holiday festivals. So yeah, this is about, for me, marking milestones, and that's what it's broadened it out to, rather than just a wedding or a new home. It's really about marking a major milestones in our journey. It could be a graduation, it could be a new job, it could be a new home. So yeah, just beautifully done again. So that was the guidebook. So let's again now have a look at some of the pairings. And first of all, because I mentioned directionality, it came to my mind, even though I didn't do it on Instagram where you will see me pairing this, but it came to my mind, how does it actually look with the Tarot Nuage? So let's have a look at this. This is by Niederman, a US Games deck. I have already done a review of this. I'm going to try to remember to link it to this video, my review, if you want to check that out. I absolutely love this deck, just love it. It's just been done so well. Okay, so this is an ink artist, an ink tattoo artist. They also have a Lenormand called the Malefic, which I want to get actually. But I think that they would look so well together in a spread. Let me, instead of just a traditional pairing, just for a moment, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's see how they might look if I put them in a spread like that. Wow, so here I've got Justice, the Tower, the Fool, and the 3 of Coins. Let's move that out of the way. I think that you could really do some powerful readings in much larger spreads using these cards. Let's try another one. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do that. So again, we have a mixture. So now I've got the 7 of Coins. I've got the Queen of Wands here, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So that's an interesting set again. Very busy visually, but perhaps if you're reading for a client, I think you could mix these and get some powerful readings, because there's so much directionality going on at times. Marseille decks really help to do that. Here's Temperance with the Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to mix this up a bit more. Let's see what happens if I mix this up a bit. Oh, we've got the Fool back again there. Hold on a second. Oh, wow. So I've got the Star card here. And let me move this. And that's a King. So here I've now got the King of Wands, Temperance, the Star card, and the Wheel of Fortune. And yeah, you can get some very interesting readings by putting these together. A bit of a mixed up way of showing you. I was just trying to do it off the cuff, but hopefully that gives you a very good idea of using. You can use this. I think you can use, you know, I think one can use this deck, the Enchanted Garden, with any Marseille deck, and it would actually look very good. You could even try this with a Patrick Valenza deck. See, this is what happens when you have me on video. I might just start grabbing decks. Here's the Trionfi Della Luna, illustrated Pips edition. This is on parchment, so this is not the colorful renditions. It's just parchment. Wow, I think that's interesting. Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. I think that's very interesting. Let me know what you think of those. With a Patrick Valenza deck, even with the purple one, I think it would go. I've got the purple Trionfi Della Luna Pips edition. It would go well. So this is not, sorry, this is not a Masse deck. This is the RWS because this is illustrated pips. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I think there's something there. I think you could play a lot with these two, or with a Patrick Valenza pip deck. It would also be very, very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to move all of this out of the way and keep going. I will list all the decks that I've shown below. Okay, so let's look at some of the pairings that I did on Instagram, which is with some oracles. So I know all of you love that. So I paired it with the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck. This is new to my collection. I've never had a Liminal 11 deck before, so I picked this up at a good price. I think it was like 15 euros at the time on Amazon, so that was great. And yeah, let's have a look. I've never worked with the Seed and Sickle before, so I'm going to do a review of this deck. But let's just, these are the backs of this deck. Let's just look at them together so you get an idea. I think a lot of people did like this mix. So here's Mustard with the High Priestess. Interesting, right? Because Mustard is for me all about faith. You know, like a grain can grow so big. Alder, so I don't know what that's about. And here is the Eight of Wands, but the energy is so strong. I don't know if you're feeling that, but I am definitely when I put these two together. Here's Cherry with the Nine of Cups. Yeah, I love the energetic mix here going on. And here's Page of Cups, and here's Ragwort, and here's Clematis, sorry, and the Ace of Swords. So beautiful pairing, I think, for me anyway it is. So that's with the Seed and Sickle. I would also actually, if I had it, I don't have it, I would also pair this with the Citadel. I think it would look great. Okay, so let's put it now with the Heart's Eye Oracle, which I also had paired it with. So by the way, sorry, I forgot to say, the Seed and Sickle is by Fez Inkwright. They're the creator of this deck, and publication is Liminal 11. This is by Olivia Rose, the Heart's Eye Oracle. This is an indie deck that I picked up from a boutique here. Luscious, luscious production. Of course, Olivia Rose is the creator of also the Mermaid's Purse, another oracle deck, which is also indie on her Etsy shop, and also the Mind's Eye Tarot, which is by US Games. So this is the same creator. Now, I love this oracle. I need to do a separate review on it. But I think, oh, look at that. Look at that. The Page of Pentacles and New Beginnings. They work so beautifully together. So I'm so happy. Like Fae decks together, when they sing, they just sing power. And here comes the Seven of Cups. That immediately says to me, make your choices wisely. Just so powerful. Here comes the Five of Wands and Enlighten. Okay, I'm just so happy. And look at that fire. So I'm just so happy just showing you these. Like, I'm just grinning. Here comes the World card, and here comes Compassion. So I've just shown you a few, but you can just see that the joy of putting the Hanged Man and Sanctuary. Let's stop there. The power of these two together just blows me away. What a combination. And just seeing this again just reminds me that, you know, always to really, for me, to build a collection mindfully where I can really play with energies together, reconnect. And here is the Queen of Cups. I think this is about inward connection, reconnecting to our emotions, finding that harmony within. Transformation, Knight of Pentacles. Need I say more? And look at them looking at each other as well. It's just beautiful. So yeah, I just feel like, you know, it's such a joy when my cards work together like that, and they talk to each other. They want to work together. They want to give me powerful readings. I'm like, yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy. So I showed you with the Heart's Eye Oracle, and now let's do the last pairing, which is Beyond Lumeria Oracle cards. This is by Izzy Ivy. This is a Blue Angel publication. This is one of the first Oracle decks I bought when I came back to collecting in 2020. Well, I never collected before. I'd only had a few decks. So this has been in my collection now for, yeah, coming up to 4 years. I think, and also Easy Ivy has done the Age of Golden Light or something like that. It's a new deck. I can't get hold of it right now. Blue Angel is very, very difficult to get hold of in Belgium right now. But if you have an Easy Ivy deck, I think this and the Tower of Enchanted Garden will go very, very well together. So let's do a new one. So Radical Expansion, I've got the Ace of Wands, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Tell me that's beautiful. Surrender, and here I've got this Six of Pentacles. Look how beautiful that is when you put them together. Okay, so we've got the the King of Cups, I apologize, the King of Cups and Transformation. Look how beautiful they look together. And it's almost like she's asking him to help her transform. Oh, just... Okay, here we have another, again, the Four of Wands and the Violet Flame. They just speak so well to each other. Third and Feathered Friends. And we have here the Two of Wands, almost like taking a journey to meet the people that we're going to connect with. The Eight of Cups, trust your innocence. Oh, just look how beautiful these go together again. Luminescence, the inward light, and here we have the Nine of Swords, almost like a call to find our inner light when we're going through difficult times. Again, I just love this. Unique gifts and the Six of Swords, almost like, I'm walking away to remember that I've got unique gifts that I'm taking with me. The Infinite, and here is the Six of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? Like our memories are infinite, that cherished joy, it can never be gone, whatever happens. And our ancient future, and the Five of, the Hierophant. Sorry about the sirens, they just distracted me right now. But look at that, the Hierophants, that's again going back to that tradition, and it says our ancient future. So it's almost, remember the reading, that call of who do we trust, who do we give that power to guide us when it comes to like faith, tradition, conformity, but then asking questions and doing that. And that says our ancient future. So how beautiful. And one more, Internal Explorer. And I've got the Four of Pentacles here, doing that juggling act. Let's do one more again. Life Force Energy and the Four of Swords. So rest, and we'll find that energy. Okay, and look, it even looks like she's looking at the subject here. So anyway, I'm going to stop there and just put these decks together so you get an idea of just how much fun I've had working with the Enchanted, I can't speak today, the Tower of the Enchanted Garden. This has been a beautiful deck to work with. I really, thank you to the creators for making this. I'm really glad it's mass market. It's so easily accessible. It's great to work with if you want to do spreads and layouts. It's great to work with if you want to mix it up with perhaps a Marseille. Again, also great to work with oracles. I am always going to champion decks that really like to work with other decks. I think it's beautiful. Of course, you can also work with her on her own. So with these cards right here in front of us, these beautiful cards, what I'm going to do is say thank you so much for watching today. I will see you all soon, and have a wonderful week wherever you are. Take care now.